Hello, baby.
I was crazy once.
I'm thinking of a number.
I had to take a pause from my friends.
Pause.
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 I'm inspired by the future episode that we're doing on Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid because I am watching Wolves.
Wolves and the Sundance
Yes.
Butch.
That's right. I not to be a little bit of a grammar head on them. I guess a spell head.
Yeah.
I guess.
Well, that's what that's like a
it's
wizard.
wolves.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Spell wizard. Did we talk about how this is so off topic? We're running multiple directions. Did we talk about how in Star Wars the coolest name is Spellhouse?
Spellhouse.
Like, it's so. Yeah, you guys remember that, right? The Imperial outpost attacked by Anto Krieger, I think is the rebel guy, but it was a trap, right? Because the Imperials, this is spoilers by the way for Andor season 1, but like having them talk about like the rebels are going to attack Spellhouse Station, and I'm like, damn, that sounds sick as hell.
What if it's just like a school? What if it's just like where you go learn grammar?
Well,
The House of Spell.
Yeah, the House of Spell.
Well, I'm sorry to tell you that Spellhouse was an astronomical object that. Oh my god!
You got hit by the
Right
Spellhouse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got hit
That's
by
what
the
happens.
Spellhouse. It's an astronomical object that hosted a power station for the Galactic Empire.
The Empire is here.
Yes. Damn, I can't wait.
My favorite Star Wars is when it has the Empire, and you can quote me on that.
Yeah, so that's not episodes 1 through 2, any of the Clone Wars, unless you're talking, Spencer, metaphorically speaking, because you might argue that some of the policies enacted by the Republic during wartime are quite imperial.
That's so true. This is the Star Wars cast. We're the Empire clones. That's our name.
That's Empire clones.
Yes.
Yeah, and the Empire was right or whatever. Like that whole. Does that have
Oh,
like
yeah,
a
we should
weirder
do that.
taste now? You know what I mean? Like
I mean, it had a weird taste back then. I don't know.
that's true. I mean, but it's like a
They were
joke,
always-
right? Like it's not like it was.
Yeah, but now I don't know. It's I think a lot of people very firmly believe that now.
Yeah, it's like that scene in Andor, right, where he gets arrested for just looking suspicious and is sentenced to 5 years and straight up, I guess, deported to the labor camp. I'm like, this is literally happening now. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Style and Direction, the Mentor podcast without the stuffiness and political takes.
Question mark.
We've
Whoa.
we've always been political guys. It's like that guy one time was all like, well, how come Ethan's getting so political now? And I'm like, brother, I've always been political.
If you can't handle me in my political, you don't deserve me at my menswear.
I'm my apolitical.
Yeah.
AP. Anyway, get a tease for that Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid episode coming out. Probably the week after this, I think. Or
you know
the
what future
episode
episode I'm most excited for?
Right.
Yeah.
The one we're doing on laser beams and jetpacks.
They fly now?
Yeah, they fly now.
Pew, pew.
Me and James watched a fan edit where they removed that dialogue completely. They just
And that's it? Is that the only change?
No, there's a lot of other stuff too,
Okay.
where they cut out. It's one of those weird things with fan edits where it's like, are you just making like you're taking out the bad jokes, or are you like, with your own purview? Because they also cut out the line with the spy with the win the war.
Really?
Like, how can we pay you back? They also cut out the light speed skipping part, so they just leave.
They just jump to light speed.
So, well, yeah, they just jump to Lightspeed and then they just go to, wherever the jungle planet was. And we don't have to worry about TIE fighters also jumping in Lightspeed. Although, if you look at the Ultimate Guide, they do say that Special Forces TIE fighters do have hyperdrives. So, whatever. This is a Star Wars podcast.
This is the Star Wars podcast.
Anyway, I'm just saying that we watched Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid, and I was like, you know what? I've got nothing to do on a Monday. I'm enjoying my apartment. More on that later. And I'm like, I'm gonna put on something. And I was debating on watching Adventure Time because I've never seen all of it before. And I'm like, okay, well, I was like, I couldn't tell if I want to do like a 20-minute sitcom. An hour and a half, 2-hour movie, like, you know, comedy, action, you know, something kind of lighthearted. I couldn't bring myself to watch multiple, like, 10-minute episodes, which is what Adventure Time would be, because it's like, shorts. You know, it's each episode or whatever, each thing is like a, you know, two-parter, or there's 2 small short films or whatever in there. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I'm not gonna. Yeah, I would feel like I would either need to like eat so fast to be like, you know, it's one of those things, right? I don't know if you guys have had this, and hey, chat,
let us know.
Let me know. Also in the comments, like I heard some people like they don't like watching stuff while they eat because it makes them, you know, eat too fast, kind of. And I don't think I have that to an extent, because I watch a half an hour show because that's how long, like, you know, lunch should be. But I do think if I watch like a 10-minute, if I like scrolled TikTok while I'm eating, I would eat in like 2 seconds, man, because I feel like it's just.
I think it's
well, you could like strategize that. Yeah,
what do you mean strategize?
If you're like running late for work and you're like, fuck, I need to eat breakfast so quickly.
Yeah, so you
to trick yourself into doing it is what you're saying.
Like,
exactly.
You get it done faster.
Okay. Or you're saying that you need to do that instead of just eating quickly?
Exactly. Yeah, because if you're not,
you have to
be
trick
inspired to.
Oh, I'm
quickly.
sorry. I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah, you need to act on inspiration.
Mm-hmm. That's what this podcast is about.
That's right. Yeah. Speaking of inspiration, I know you guys can make it, but I went to Inspiration this week, or at the time of recording. Yeah,
at the time.
And you know, it's kind of fun to get some hot. You know, it's like you know, talking to a restaurant after COVID.
What?
You know, it's like how you guys doing? Yeah, it's like how you guys do. We're doing so good. It's like, is it?
How good?
Yeah.
You know, no, there's nothing wrong. I think it's just like Inspiration took a break, you know, for like a year or two, right? And then we've had multiple vintage rendezvous, and
that's
so
kind of
I feel like
the place of Inspiration.
Yeah, Bob Chet going after Rin Tanaka right now.
That's right.
No, I mean it. Okay, the cool thing is, okay, I'll share my take, and I'm definitely gonna write this down. Like, this is not like a secret thing here. My opinion is something that I'm sure some people will get, but I feel like Inspiration was better before, and that could be because there wasn't a, you know, vintage rendezvous, you know. So like for me and Spencer, it was like the only time we would see all these people outside of maybe the flea markets, right? And you know. And some of these guys, right, they had like their own showrooms, or they're from like San Diego, or they're all from all over, so you just couldn't see them at Rose Bowl, right? But what was really cool about Inspiration was that there was always like repro brands around, you know. I think one year they had like a Levi's booth,
they did.
I think,
they
right?
Well, this was the year,
huge display for it, right?
This was multiple times. I think they were one of the main sponsors of the event, and I remember the year that in their collection they had the replica of the Albert Einstein jacket, the Cossack jacket that he wore.
Oh, yeah.
They
Hell yeah.
had the original Einstein jacket on display. And then at one point, they had an Einstein impersonator walking around.
I don't remember that,
jacket.
but I believe it.
Yes, it was cool. I wish we had met the Einstein impersonator.
And if only we dressed up as Oppenheimer to be like...
That's right.
Like, what's the final... The word, like the final line of Oppenheimer. I thought
like,
of the future. And I hate it.
I came to you because I thought that we would start a chain reaction that would end the world. I think I did.
Yeah, what of it?
Yeah.
And then he goes, and Einstein's like, "You're right." Another way of thinking about that.
Yeah,
you know?
he does say that. He says another way to think about it. If he had been like muttering that as he walked by like Strauss.
The whole movie.
Yeah,
Strauss. The whole movie would have been like,
yeah, because he's
totally
like,
different.
he was thinking about something. He was not mad at me. He was just thinking. So I have no reason to hate Oppenheimer and want to destroy his career.
Yeah, I just think it's so funny that he like was like, damn, I need to ruin this man's life because Albert Einstein like snubbed me. You think Cheryl Hines is gonna have that exact thing happen?
I hope so.
She's gonna ruin. She's gonna ruin Trump's life
because he didn't shake her hand. That was a funny clip. That was good.
That was. And she like looks over at RFK Jr. She's like, "What?" He's like, "I don't know." Everything sucks.
Everything's terrible.
But yeah.
But
no, yeah. So I feel like that you know the brand, the branding. I guess not the inspiration branding, but like the brand presence and inspiration, it was kind of lacking.
It was more
but
just
again,
like
it's
the
been like
sellers, less like I don't know. Who's the leather jacket guys that were always there? I really like
Himmel Bros.
Yeah, Himmel Bros. Were they there or anything this year?
Yeah, Himmel. I forget what his first name is. I'm sorry, he doesn't listen to this shit, so it doesn't matter. But he was. I saw him.
Yeah.
But I didn't. Yeah, I don't think he had a booth. The only booth I saw was Vintage Works, which is the belt I got the last inspiration, which was like 2 years ago, I think, that we went there, right? 2023. And then I think Freenote Cloth.
Oh yeah, I like Freenote. They make good stuff.
Guys. Yeah, they were there. They had a big old tent. I think they're probably the biggest brand that was out there. And then you've had a couple of jewelry people over there. You had like a bag. I should have taken more photos, but I was just like
looking around.
To be honest, guys, I don't care as much. And it's like I don't know, like I'm not shopping either, and some of the stuff, especially like jewelry, is going to cost me thousands of dollars.
So
and everyone's
expensive.
Up, everyone is pricing up for inspiration.
Yeah.
Everyone knows this. Okay, everyone knows this.
I forgot how expensive because it's like I don't know, when we go to the flea market, I feel like we find stuff for like pretty cheap. But I was at an event.
We also don't find too many stuff though. We don't like. It's not like we're like stumbling across
true.
like, oh my god, look at all this turquoise and southwestern jewelry. It's either like I got my belt buckle, my native belt buckle. I forgot which tribe it is. One of my favorite prized pieces.
Yeah.
It was like $50, which isn't like bad at all. It's definitely like sterling silver, but the guy kind of knew what it was, and he had some other stuff. But like, if I went to a person who was selling just jewelry, it'd probably be like, I don't know, $100, $150 maybe.
Man, you know where you should go next year? Because I had to go for work.
Tell me.
The powwow at Long Beach, Cal State Long Beach.
Oh, that's right.
Which is like the largest, like west of the Rockies or something like that. But they have a bunch of like Native American like vendors. Who are selling, whatever. They sell a bunch of stuff, but some of them are selling like new jewelry. There's a bunch of people selling vintage jewelry. Some of it was really good. I was so close to buying a cuff. I didn't end up getting anything, but really good rings, really good cuffs. Some of it was like pretty expensive. There were some things that I was like, oh, this is nice. How much is it? And it's like, oh, it's like $500. But there was other stuff that was like 70, 80, pretty good.
Well, that's not bad. Yeah,
but you should definitely go next year. It was really cool. I was there for work, but it was good.
Let us know the next time. I think the last time I had something similar was there was some kind of event at the Autry Museum. I went a couple of years ago with my ex, and it was they had like an Aloha shirt exhibit.
Oh, that's cool.
And I guess that same day I went, they had like a little like market, and they had artisans or whatever. But I wasn't looking too closely at the jewelry or most stuff. But I gotta check it out next time. But yeah, a lot of cool stuff at Inspiration. I mean, obviously all the same dealers were there. American Reboot, Gators, obviously, and World's Worst Surf Shop. Shout out Will. But, it was kind of like the same crowd. Like the kind of vibe I got was that it's fun to see everybody. It's far enough out from Vintage Inspiration. Vintage Rendezvous. See, I'm even getting them mixed up because they're basically the same thing in my mind. But yeah, I mean, also a lot of kids and a lot of couples. Huh. Yeah, kids as in like.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I'm 30, so they're like 20. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Both again, just like I said this before, but just like the kids were both selling and attending. So that was kind of interesting. I mean, I'm sure that happens all the time. And when I say kids, it's because they're not. It's like kind of TikTok coded, right? It's very like big. Big pants crop shirt kind of shit, there's not that many people of the new generation who are wearing like 40s leather jacket, sport shirt with a fedora like we were when we were going there. But it was that's just kind of how the internet looks now. I mean, I was talking to a guy who will remain nameless, but he was saying how he's like, I miss seeing you and your crew, because it was just me for a little while. And then Chris and Moises and Hao Cheng came later, but he was like, yeah, I love that you guys like you buy the stuff to wear it. And I'm like, yeah, like that's and I think that might be the thing with inspiration or vintage dealers in general, where like they know that this is like the audience now. We're like, yeah, maybe they'll wear it for a little bit, but then it's like an investment, right? They buy something crazy that because they know they're gonna like sell it at some point and like get to the same money. And I'm sure we all have that in mind. Like if I like buy something and I'm like, I love this, but in case at the end of the day maybe MJ will want this or Jay. We all have the similar taste, but that's kind of why. But as opposed to a little bit more of a pragmatic approach. And so I was telling that guy, I was like, "Oh, thank you," and also, yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, it makes me sad that this ad, like, cause I don't know. I feel like one thing I liked about vintage was the community of people who like weared it and geeked out about it. So it's weared it.
Yeah, I weared this.
You want to know what's kind of funny though? That on the weekend of that, Benny told me about the sale, like a 40s sale. Because there hasn't been too many of that. I think that I heard the set shop's coming back, and for those of you who don't know, the set shop was like a big kind of like inspiration, as in like it was at like a public place, and it was at the set shop, which was like a movie design thing run by this guy Ernest Litterdale. I'm assuming he still works in entertainment, even though that industry is forever changed and dying. But yeah, like it was kind of like inspiration of vintage rendezvous, where it's a bunch of sellers. There's like maybe a live band or live music. There's like food and people just hanging out, drinking beer,
wearing
vintage clothing, except it's 1940s and 30s tailoring versus like workwear. I forgot where I was going.
Well, it's coming back. You're talking to Benny. Yeah.
Yes. Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, so the set shop, so it's coming back, and but Benny told me about a different sale that was happening that Sunday, because like everyone is in vintages in town, and I just sound so bad, but after the Rose Bowl, I walked over there, and I did not know that it was a $5 entry fee. So I walked in, saw a sign, and walked back out.
There you go.
Because I knew I wasn't going to buy anything. Yeah. I wasn't going to buy like a 40s suit, and I already saw Benny, and I can always go see Benny, and I'm not like and most of these things with vintage selling, it's a lot of women's clothing. I'm sure there might be other, menswear stuff there, but I just didn't feel like going and also spending $5 because I already spent money at the Rose Bowl earlier that day. I did not buy anything at Inspiration. I saw a couple of cool things, like just it's all the Western stuff, right? Because I feel like Western menswear is kind of like that blend between like tailoring and like old Americana workwear, and that's not to say that like the rest of it isn't, but it's like Western wear, you get like the sport shirt or like a a button-up shirt, but then like the pockets are fun, versus like and it can be made of like rayon or wool versus like a straight up just like a cotton chambray work shirt or just denim jeans or something like that. Unfortunately, at this Inspiration too, I didn't have the same luck I did at Vintage Rendezvous, where I found a bunch of ties for like $5 each. That did not happen this time. I did. Oh yeah, I did buy a T-shirt for Inspiration. Nice. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna buy the shirt. And what's really cool is that they had a shirt on display from the first Inspiration, cool. and it's like it looks like a shirt a TikTok guy would spend $100 for. Like there's like holes in like the neck and like the armpit, and it's like faded like to look this like grayish blue because it used to be black. And I'm like, yeah, that's pretty sick, cool. Actually. So maybe I'll get my I think it's like Vintage Rendezvous. Inspiration. Yeah. Good God, it's gonna happen. Inspiration is like 17 years or 20 years. It's a long time.
Man, okay, it's been
at least the first. Because we went to the ones at least in 2014 or 15 or something, right? So like it's definitely before that. But yeah, I was like, well, I guess I gotta wear my shirt for a decade now and get the wear in there. But yeah, that's basically the only thing that I got. Yeah. Nice. It's just I'm not really buying too many clothes.
What a life.
You know?
What? Yeah, was there anything really crazy that you saw at Inspiration?
I saw
deals?
I saw a long sleeve Aloha shirt, which I was like, I want that. And again, we don't really have too many of those. I don't really see those.
No, I picked one up from J. Crew for like deep discount.
How deep are we talking?
I think I got it for like $10 or less when I worked there.
Yeah, that's
well because it was like super old merchandise and like a bunch of discounts were stacked on top of it.
Yeah,
but I don't wear that one often. But it's like I just got it because it's like, man, yeah, long sleeve Alohas are cool.
They are cool. I don't. I wish that I could find more of them, or at least repo brands did it. But it makes sense. You might save a couple of pennies or more because of tariffs.
That's right.
Because of the extra rayon fabric that you don't really need to have.
The extra sleeve. Think about how many shirts you could make if you save all those sleeves.
Yeah. Or at least it's like a collar, I guess.
How many shirts is one sleeve? Well, or sorry, how many sleeves are in one shirt?
In one shirt, or
Yeah, not on one shirt. Like if you just took the sleeves of many other shirts, how many sleeves would you need to take to make one full shirt? This is the kind of question they ask you when you apply at Google.
Okay, yeah.
Are
we counting car windows?
Yes, we are. Stop talking about the sun.
Yeah. Well, Gabe says no, and then he moves on to the other question. Yeah, I saw that. There's a couple of Penny's Big Mac chore coats. I'm like softly looking for those, but I don't need that either. Chris bought two-tone spectators, like those 2 or 3 eyelet derbies from the 50s.
That's really cool.
The black sides,
those.
the cream vamp. I guess that was really cool.
That's really good. Do you know how much those were?
$120, which I thought was a little bit
bad.
They're old and they're kind of.
How are the shoes?
They're not that.
There's
the uppers were okay. I don't know how the bottoms are how it was on the inside, but I don't know if I would have haggled a little bit, But at Rose Bowl, the actual Rose Bowl the next day, I got 3 pages of apparel arts, which is awesome.
Nice.
So I'm gonna frame those and put them in my room somewhere.
What do they got on those?
Baby! I mean, it's stuff that the best part is it's the ones that I have scans of.
Hey,
and so
that's great.
One of them is a summer guide. So it's got a guy with swimming trunks, a guy with a dinner jacket, and a guy wearing I guess kind of go to hell pants, or light blue with a blazer, which is really cool. The other one I got I got an ad for some kind of cloth, but it's the 2 guys are wearing belt backs in the illustration, so that's really great. And then the last one is, thankfully he put both pages in one pack, I guess, but it's a hat wear guide, and it's got Ethan's favorite hat, the Tyrolean hat, baby. So it's very me. And
is that your new favorite? It's officially the favorite hat.
Yeah, even though I haven't worn it because it's been hot, and it's definitely a fall winter.
It's a fall winter hat.
Yes,
but it'll come back.
Yeah, I mean it's gonna be boater season. We're gonna have an episode on the boater at some point when I get to wear it.
Is that the summer Tyrolean?
No, you would just have a straw Tyrolean. Just is a boater the summer fedora? That? Yes, there's illustrations of it, which is awesome.
Oh, that is cool.
Okay, guys, I know I want to move on to some other topics here, but apparel arts, the illustrations for apparel arts have shown you the possibilities of menswear. You have a silk fedora that you wear to black tie events. You got a straw Tyrolean because you got to be jaunty, but it's summertime. Okay, you got a terry cloth double-breasted jacket. I don't all these things exist. I just wish they made them again today.
I got so excited. I saw a old guy wearing a beret the other day.
Oh, nice! And you said you read the blog.
I was like, "Oh my god, it's a celebrity." No, I did. I drove past him, but he was just standing on the corner, and he was wearing a sweater and some khakis and wearing a beret. I'm like, this guy's cool.
Hell yeah! That reminds me when I was in New York walking with the menswear guys to. I got probably KGB bar or Romeo's, the two bars I went to when I was last there, and we went there each time. But there was a guy wearing like a double-breasted suit and like spectators, and I went like I was probably pretty drunk from the first place, and I was just like, "Hey man, looking good." Just ignored me and kept walking.
Nice.
It's just New York, you know.
Yeah, it's fucking New York, baby.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. But yeah, tariffs, guys.
Tariffs.
I don't.
How about you tear off the Band-Aid
Okay.
and pay more for products? I don't know where I was going with that.
Yeah, what did you want to talk about with tariffs?
Oh, just how buying stuff from overseas, like menswear, is going to get more expensive, gang. Like, I don't know.
Oh yeah. No, I mean, Suit Supply suits, right, are made in China, and the fabrics all over the place, and so I don't know. I'm like, damn, do I replace all of my Fugue suits with that now? Because here, actually, I don't know. I guess now at the time of this episode, I now own my double-breasted like Suit Supply suit. Like, it's not a secret anymore, or I guess it was a secret. It didn't come in yet at the last couple of episodes, but I have it now, and I love the cloth. It's so good. I ordered the brown one. By the time this episode comes out, I'm sure I will already have the brown one, so I'll include photos of that. But I'm entertaining a off-white or white double-breasted suit, or I guess all three again, double-breasted, single-breasted. That way MJ can buy the other one. But it's also because I think I would like the seasonality of it might be more useful to me as opposed to just like linen, you know. And yeah, so that's one thing. And also, like, damn, do I buy it now? Not just because the season's coming up, but because I don't know how long it's going to take Suit Supply to like jump up their prices, you know?
Yeah, and also, like, I don't know, from what I understand, they're having difficulties collecting the tariffs.
Didn't they just straight up like forgot, right? Or something like that? Like,
I think they fired people that knew how to do that.
Oh boy.
Hell,
but at the same time,
sometimes
it's like,
incompetence works, actually.
Yeah, but I don't know. I still think shit's gonna get way more expensive. Like if we get into a trade war with Canada, like, you know, no more. Oh man, what's the Canadian brand? That I had the Cheetos from?
What?
I
don't even know.
Canadian menswear brand. It's the big one that everyone goes to. It's like
Spear McKay.
Spear. Yeah, so you can't get Spear sport coats anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
R.I.P. I mean, I guess I haven't really bought anything else. Like, I guess you guys with the, I guess I'm saying you guys, just Spencer, with your Bronson MFG.
I got them when I did because of this.
Because of this exact moment.
Yes, and I'm glad I got them.
Yeah.
If anything, I should have ordered more pants.
Yeah, this is actually how he's reviving the economy by making us spend more money before anything happens, and he'll roll it back and be like, "Just kidding,
just kidding."
Which he kind of said, and then he rolled it back, and then he went back the other way again. Actually,
I just don't know what's going on, man. I'm just anticipating a crash, no matter what happens.
Yeah, it's like that clip of 30 Rock where like what's it called? Where Tracy's talking about like the end of New York as you know it, because. The Chinese markets are going to open or something. There's a huge...
Oh, yeah.
The Chinese market's open to a huge sell-off. And, like, we're going to pivot to that topic right now. And then Tracy's like, good, I'm glad I'm here for this.
And then he does the two serious things in one joke.
Yeah, and then there's also the... it's Pete from work. Oh my God, it's Peter Frampton. Like that's just if you're joining us right now, we're here with Tracy Jordan and guitar legend Peter Frampton on the phone, giving enigmatic clues to a treasure. Because in that episode, Tracy has hidden cash in 30 Rock somewhere, and they're all trying to find it.
They should stop doing tariffs and start showing reruns of 30 Rock on NBC.
Well, the reruns exist on a place called Peacock.
Well, they should show them on television, too.
Is it a rerun if it's on demand? Because they're not like...
Well, this is what I'm saying. They should just...
I want you to... I'm telling my TV to rerun it for me. I'm demanding it.
Syndication. Yeah. Put it on 30 Rock. 30 Rock, DBS. Very funny.
Put it on 30 Rock.
They should put 30 Rock on 30 Rock.
That's funny.
Yeah.
It's on the big Rockefeller Plaza, like tree.
Mm-hmm. That would be pretty good.
Yeah,
that's fun.
Yeah,
like a free public screening of 30 Rock at 30 Rockefeller Plaza.
Yeah,
center. It's a plaza or center? The building is Center, isn't it? Like, that's the address of the building, but it's the plaza.
Yeah, like the hotel, which is not near it. No. Because the Plaza Hotel is near Central Park.
All of our New York listeners are screaming. They're so mad.
Yeah. They're like, no, you got to take a right on Division to get to Chinatown. Yeah. That's a quote from the movie Wolves.
Whoa. Wolves. They do Californian-style traffic dialogue, but for New York?
Well, no, they just take there's episode. There's a scene where they're driving. You know, I gotta watch that show again. Yeah. MJ, what have you dressed up for lately?
Job interview and to buy a car in the same day.
You bought a car.
Oh wow! Wait, did you interview at the car dealership and then immediately use your discount to get a car for
30%
half off?
Do they get discounts?
Or actually, like, what if you bought the car in your interview and that was like part of your like sell?
Yeah. What if it was like it was like commissioned?
Wait,
then it's like I just recoup the car.
Yeah.
Part
wait, hold on. I'm curious, Spencer.
How you say it's like if you give me this job, I'll buy the most expensive car you have.
Okay, I was gonna say I don't know if it's impressive to show you be a good customer as opposed to a good seller.
Well, maybe because then you're like, now I know what it's like from the customer's perspective, so I know how to make it the best for the customer.
I know how to be the best salesman.
That doesn't make them want to hire you. I guess
in a perfect world, it would. In a just world,
yeah. If being a client meant that you'd also be a good like worker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay,
exactly.
Sure. What did you? So you did both of those things in one day.
One in the morning, one in the afternoon.
Huh.
Which one?
What did you do in the evening?
First? The chicken or the egg? That's a good question, Spencer. I'm curious too. Actually,
take off the suit. Yeah. Yeah, I did the interview in the morning, and then I did the car stuff in the afternoon.
What if you reversed it?
I
what if you bought the car in the morning?
So sweaty because the cars are all outside.
Oh no! Did I tell you guys about how sweaty I am in my ID photo at work?
No.
This is a quick diversion.
Why were you sweaty?
Yeah.
I'll like take a photo of it and we'll have it in there. But anyway, I started my job in September in California. It's really hot in September. It's one of our hottest months. And I had to walk to take my ID photo across campus. And for those who have never been to Cal State Long Beach, it is a big campus. Yep. So I walked
BMOC.
Yeah, exactly. That's me. So I walked across in like 90-degree heat. And then by the time I got to the photo booth, they like didn't. I just was like, "Oh, I'm here to take my ID photo," and they were just like, "Look over here," and just took my photo like right then and there. They weren't like, "Okay, step over here." It wasn't like school photos where they handed you a mirror and a brush, you know. Wait, and so now every time I have to show my like staff ID, I'm a sweaty mess.
What? There wasn't like a designated like stand here and like
they just pulled out like a webcam and pointed it at me.
Hell yeah, dude. My photo for the gym because cause it's on my LA Fitness thing. I am backlit and it's like. I don't know why they even took it because you can't even see me in the photo.
Okay, so we should just have all of our unflattering ID photos on the Instagram.
Absolutely.
Yeah. This could be the clip.
Yeah, this will be the clip. Actually.
Yeah.
It won't even be the clip. It'll just be the one that's like the first image of it, right? Like the photo. It's a set of three, right? There's always the first one, the third one, and
so
the middle
MJ,
one.
You gotta find an unflattering ID photo.
Yeah,
MJ, tell. Do you have one? Do you have a story? Because you know.
I mean, it's just kind of. I don't know if it's a story. It's just like when I was like 10 pounds like chubbier, I guess. But I don't think I was ready to take like the DMV photo. So I was just like I'm just like not. Like just made up or anything.
You don't have makeup on?
Yeah, like
that's crazy.
Yeah, I gotta get my makeup on.
That must be so much fun to say. I gotta get my face. I gotta get my face on.
Oh yeah, only women
guys who wear makeup can say that.
I guess. Or I would say Nick Cage. I guess.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he does gotta get his face on.
Yeah. Yeah. We're
off.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think me and Spencer talked about this the last time in person, but we were like, I was telling him how my ID is like, my photo's a little punched in for some reason, so like I dressed up for it and you can't tell like what I'm wearing at all. Yeah, and because I remember he showed me his. I was like, wait, why is yours like you could see a little bit? I'm like, mine's like just my face, dude. And I'm like, I'm also like kind of smirking too a little bit.
Did
like,
they count you? Did they count you
like,
down? Is that why you weren't sure when you should smile or not? Or
I wanted to smile. I didn't want it to be a neutral one. And I know that they always say that you can't smile, so I was like, maybe I'll try and smile.
They
like,
say you're not supposed to smile.
Like just like a night, like
People
a nice
always
one.
made fun of me from my first ID when I wasn't smiling.
really?
Yeah, well, like, it's a common thing where they tell you not to smile because like it's supposed to be like just like an identifying thing. But I tried to like have like a little soft like no teeth smile, but it comes out like
Yeah.
You're smirking.
you know the little smirk action there. Yeah. I got two more things before we go into our last thing.
MJ, do you have a car now?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's finish the story.
Yeah, exclusive.
Oh, well, yeah. I have.
Can you tell us about the car?
Yeah, I have an SUV. So
Whoa, you're going for an SUV.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now finally, someone's gonna be fucking able
the
to
space
take the furniture.
And, yeah, that's gonna be a big
What
one.
is it?
What's
Is it a Subaru?
No, it's a GMC Terrain I bought.
Oh, nice.
Domestic.
Hey, yeah.
Looking that up.
Yeah.
Gotta buy American.
Because if I was gonna get a Subaru, like, we don't know what's gonna go.
Senator, was it Counselor? I recommend you buy American.
That's
Dark
Dark
Knight.
Knight.
From the Dark Knight.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, where he's all like, "I'll show you hostile," then tries to shoot him, and then he just like punches him. Man, Harvey Dent's so cool. If only he wasn't like tortured and then turned into a bad guy.
And then
by
Eric
the Joker.
Roberts is there. I love Eric Roberts. Yeah.
Yeah, he gets his legs broken.
Ouch.
Yeah. I flipped a coin for your driver, and he dies, right? Because
on the podcast, I bet he would come on.
He's such a perfect like low level bad
he's
guy.
So good.
You know,
he's
like,
really good in the Righteous Gemstones.
Like, yeah, he's good there. I remember in Heroes, he's Linderman. Yeah, he is. No, he's not Linderman. He's in Heroes.
Probably
though,
he's
right?
in everything. He's like the most prolific actor in Hollywood.
Oh no, he's Thompson. He's like another company guy.
The company.
But also in the company. Pinehurst, the evil company, with his Arthur Petrelli. Oh man, when's our hero rewatch episode? But yeah, no, he plays like Figgis, I think, which is like talked up in one of the seasons of Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and of course it's Eric Roberts. I'm like, hell yeah, they got Eric Roberts.
Eric Roberts Heroes. Hold on, I'm gonna find out. I'm gonna get a picture.
Yeah, good. Yeah, well, he's wearing like a sports shirt, I think, in Heroes or something like that. He wears like a knit polo.
Yeah, he's wearing.
Kind of
it looks like a black polo shirt with like a long overcoat, or like it's like a quarter zip. It's a quarter zip.
Actually, it's a quarter zip. And mind, it's less
His
cool.
hair
actually.
is really bad. It's so flat.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on in this. Yeah. Well, congratulations on the car, MJ. Welcome
to Club Driver.
Welcome to the driving gang.
Yeah, good road trip car, by the way.
That's
just
good.
Saying, but
let's go on a road trip. I want to do another Bay Area.
Yeah, good road trip. I want to do another Bear Area trip. Actually,
well, there are bears in the Bay Area.
Like a big
Bear
Area trip.
It's the Castro.
Maybe in the winter. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that was bad. So I had two fun. I watched the Tennessee Williams play in the bar of a Tokyo hotel. I had never seen that before. It was set in 1969.
Oh,
and it's one of those things where like I remember, or I think I vaguely remember that this play took place in, but you can always update where plays are, like Romeo and Juliet as two teenagers in New York in the 60s, instead of 1400s Italy or whatever the hell it is. But yeah, I didn't really know this play too much prior to watching it, but it's like three characters. It takes place in a Tokyo hotel, and it's like a middle-aged or woman hits on her barkeep, and you don't ever know his name. And then she has a husband who is like, he's supposed to be like an artist, and he's kind of like having a mental breakdown, or he's kind of, you know, mentally disturbed, and he's like discovering color for the first time.
Wow.
Like, you know, he's like tripping out. And then there's another character who comes in later who is like the art dealer. And 1969 is not 1970s.
Yeah.
You know,
Is everyone dressed like it's the 70s?
No, it was I wouldn't even say that, except one character. So, the art dealer he is wearing like a 60s suit, like a shark skinny, or like, you know, kind of like a, you know, model-y. It was like a yellowish green, which looked very kind of like mid to late 60s, but it was like slim lapel. It's probably more like the, you know, mid 60s, but that guy wore like white horsebit loafers, a peach, so very tonal, like runaway collar shirt, and like a medallion and a scarf. But the scarf was tucked in to like the as a cravat, not like a neck scarf. If it was a neck scarf, like you know, like an ascot off to the side, maybe I would excuse it. But it definitely felt like it was leaning more 70s than it was like 60s. The woman was just wearing like nice woman attire. She was like a blouse with like a skirt and like boots. And then her husband, the painter, when he comes down, he's wearing definitely like an 80s like thrifted suit, because they put paint like all over it. But it's one of those things where it looks like they just like dabbed it with a paintbrush, and then like it didn't feel like it was like the messiness from painting, you know, if that makes sense. But he wore that with like a, you know, t-shirt or whatever. And then when he changed into a summer suit, he was wearing like a thrifted like white double-breasted suit with like a peach shirt. And I looked up some stuff. I wish it was like photos of when the play actually premiered, because I want to see how they did it. But yeah, it's always the same thing. Like usually someone's wearing like a white suit. There's like a painted on suit, but I think I saw one where the art dealer is wearing like a turtleneck and like cool. A, you know, and like a suit, which I feel like fits more with what like that kind of person would wear.
I mean, what I always like about like the late 60s is how much of a transition period it was, like between like the big bold 70s stuff that you got a few years later, and like, you know, you still saw a lot of slim, a lot of skinny ties, that kind of thing. But it's like it's a fun mix, and I think that's, I don't know, if you're doing something that's set in 1969, I think it's fun to represent that mix.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like looking at some of the other photos from like online. Like some of them, the woman's wearing like a pillbox hat and the matching set. Sometimes she has like a white dress and the hair is kind of Betty Draper-esque. The barkeep sometimes is wearing like a mess jacket. Sometimes it's wearing like a you know, a vest and like a, you know, like, was it like the Tumblr Hawk? I think it was like a white shirt with a vest or something like that. When I watched it, the barkeep was wearing like a Asian inspired like top, kind of like it wasn't Chinese, but it probably could have been. But it's one of those things. I'm looking at old photos, and I found it in 1969. So she's wearing kind of a fun pillboxy, kind of like a crazy hat with stuff on it, very like Jackie O. And then the artist guy, I'm assuming he's wearing like a runaway collar, terry cloth or like a velour polo shirt with a khaki suit. So
someone should let us.
It's kind of fun, and then I would love to do that. I just hope that they would have the wardrobe, you know, like, because if we had to buy it, that'd be
okay. Let's
harder.
do it at Broadway. Where we have a budget.
Yeah,
we have so many friends in New
Mark
York.
Platt,
Someone has to know someone on Broadway, right?
I'm looking at some other ones here. The barkeep is wearing like a kimono style, like belted kind of tunic, which is really cool. And then I'm looking at some other photos. The art dealer is wearing, oh man, that's a thick ass tie. Oh my god. Okay, so this sorry, I'm like finding out in real time on this. So like the art dealer guy is wearing like a suit with a hacking pocket with like proto 70s lapels. You can see the structure in the shoulders, but the tie is like a fat rep. It's very 70s, you know. And then the summer suit for the actual painter, he's wearing a pinstripe, maybe seersucker, white, like a white pinstripe or whatever, double-breasted 60s jacket. So very narrow buttons, very slim lapels, and then with a runaway collar shirt. So that's really cool. Kind of fun that they did this. So, yeah. Oh yeah, the paint on him looks more natural. It's just kind of like
if you could
but yeah, I did that.
Any play, what play would it be? The
Great Gatsby.
The Gay Gatsby. The Great Gatsby.
Yeah, gives a new name to Daisy Buchanan, huh? He loves that Daisy.
Do you see the Banff
Gender
style
swap
thing about the 1920s Great Gatsby, like the silent film version?
No, I did
it was
not
fun.
see that.
It was like a fun. He did it.
Nick
Yeah, he did it for
it?
the 100th anniversary of the book. But yeah, because the 1920s version.
Nick is so good at scheduling, man.
But no, it was neat because the whole thing was black and white. So he was talking about how the costumers couldn't do anything that like any of the costumes that were described in the book, which are a lot to do with specific colors. So they just had him in this like crazy, like bold, like jazz suit that had his monogram on the pocket and it had contrasting buttons and like this wacky ass silk tie, like all this stuff. It was a fun read, but it's a mostly lost film. There's only a couple stills from it, so didn't have a whole lot to work with.
Yeah, the man in the pink suit went to Oxford. Life is something you dominate, Nick.
Gotta watch that movie again.
Yes. Watch that movie. It's been.
I need to watch the Redford one. I've never seen it. I've heard people have said it's boring.
Oh yeah, that's not bad. Yeah, it's kind of boring. It's just going from the high energy of the Baz Luhrmann one to like what kind of 20s is this? And this, it makes it seem so lame. Last thing is I did a escape room for James' birthday.
Room.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. First escape room in like years. It's so much fun. It's more of like interactive theater escape room. I mean, there was definitely puzzles, but like no time limit, which is good because I think it's like very lore heavy, which is great. And it was basically a haunted, like we were there to exercise kind of like this haunted house, because like this paranormal agency that does a lot of stuff, they want to sell the house and make a profit, and there's ghosts and they can't sell it if they know there's ghosts in there, and so
it's the law.
Yeah, so it's kind of like our the detective intern, or I guess the agency intern, she's doing like this whole like gumshoe New York kind of like, oh man, you guys gotta get over there, do the thing, and then we also had one ghost who was like the spirit with us, who was the only good ghost in the house. Yeah, so she was kind of like an April Ludgate-y kind of like dark, but friendly spirit who was like, if you get stuck in something, she would like kind of guide you or whatever, which is cool. But yeah, we started out in 2 different rooms and we had to like, talk to each other through a telephone, although the rooms are thin, so you can just yell. But yeah, and then we went to a dining room where like there was one of the puzzles, which was like, you have the family portraits on the walls, you put them back up there, but then you realize like, oh, it's just not in order. You gotta like, some of them don't want to be next to each other, and so they have to figure out the right combination of like, okay, this guy could be okay with this one, so that was really fun. And then the final room has like a big room with like a bunch of multiple puzzles that you can either do one at a time or you can do like simultaneously. And that was really fun. And then they killed one of us. Just kidding. Apparently we had to sacrifice one of us to the ghosts, and he came back with I guess he drank some kind of potion or something. But his teeth were like green when he came back. It was Mac. Oh, not Mac. Max. But I bring it up because it's kind of like dark academia themed, like kind of like like kind of vintagey, like your guys are detective-y, intellectual, kind of people going on an adventure and
intellectuals.
Yeah, and James, he had a little Pinterest board thing of like, the girl in The Mummy, the wife, I guess, librarian core, and one of the photos was Howard Stark, with the suspenders, and I'm like, well,
that's right.
I have a mustache. I literally own all of those clothes, so that's I did that, and it was a lot of fun. And they were they told us that we were the best dressed and probably the most efficient group that they've had, and I'm like, well, it's because
it's fun to dress up for
because
the escape rooms.
Yeah. I know. Like, it's not, but also like, how are people bad at escape rooms? Like, okay, you go in there, okay, take stock. Okay, there's like one of the challenges. I mean, this is spoilers if you're in the LA area and you want to do this, but like you go you look at the wall and like, okay, there's like 5 enclaves, I guess, like little things that like, and one of them has an urn. Okay, so we have to find the other urns that would go there. Oh, the urns have names. Okay, is there anything here that tells us about the names or like the ages of this, whatever? And so I don't know how you don't think like that when you're going through an escape room. I don't know. It's very logical to me, But I'm also glad that it was it was spooky, but not like scary. You know what I mean? Like, okay, like, yeah, I like that more. I don't want to be at the one where like, I think someone said that they went to one where like there's like a dead body in the middle and it would like it would grab at you, or like serial killer where like he's like in a cage and he gets closer each time. I'm like, no, I can't do it, dude. Like, don't like don't do that.
It's Universal Horror Nights, but like also an escape room.
Yeah. If that's the case, then the puzzles need to be like easier, or like, because I can't think,
or like based in like how fast you can do like an easy thing instead of like thinking.
Yeah, exactly. So the last part here, we talked about tariffs today, guys. Let's talk about the other thing that was real big lately, and it's called artificial intelligence.
Ooh. That's right. Have you guys heard about this?
No, I haven't seen the movie, actually. I want to see the movie.
We should watch it. We should watch her.
Yeah. AI, artificial intelligence. AI. That's the whole name of the movie, right? It's AI : artificial intelligence. That's right. Was it Collateral Beauty? That's not AI.
Oh my god! Yes.
Crazy name.
Is
the other one? Oh shit!
With the fish one. Is that AI? The Matthew McConaughey.
Oh, Serenity.
Serenity.
No. No. Yeah. He's
kind of an AI. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the game like disappears at the end, right? That's the whole thing. But yeah, this is kind of trending because I'm a little disappointed that a lot of menswear guys, use like AI filters. But I'm also like, I get it. I mean, we kind of did it before. We'll use. I guess it's different. This is AI has changed so much in the past like 3 years. When it came out, we had a whole episode about where we used goofy, AI to like
because it was like not
scripts.
That good.
Yeah, it wasn't like I mean, I'm sure it was. The algorithms were stealing some stuff, but it wasn't the same thing.
Someone might cancel us for making that episode, but it was a while ago. Who cares?
Yeah, you can look at the images we made with it. Yeah, think of the water that we wasted, guys.
The electricity to power like a small town.
Yeah, but now we're not doing that.
We're not doing it. We're just discussing it.
Yeah, but it's crazy. I mean, I don't know if you guys saw it, but like they were like, like the new, especially with the Ghibli one.
Oh,
they're
God,
like, AI makes like art accessible. I'm like, I don't know what's like. You can find it, like, or you can commission someone to draw it, or you can learn how to draw, bro. I don't know why you gotta like. It is literally the thing I hate the most, where it's like it's just about like results focus. Like they just care about like, I want to look like. Not only do I want to look like this Ghibli thing, but like I want to post it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like that's like all it's, and then it's done. What the hell's the point?
It's like the whole, I guess, mentality or perspective of like, look what I did, but it's like you didn't.
Yeah, it's the whole thing is like the process that leads you to it. Like, look what I did after years of doing this or whatever, right? Like that's kind of like when we post our outfits, it's like look what I made, but also like. Well, I mean, you guys don't, but I post my old outfits all the time of how, and it's really like, look how far I've come, guys, I really got this. But that just made me curious. And would you guys use AI
no.
to like, well,
I don't know, like,
it's
why
weird,
would
like
you?
with fashion.
Yeah.
What's crazy is, okay, so when I was trying to look up like examples of this, like AI stylists, like, I don't. First off, why? I don't understand.
I saw a chart that someone who works at OpenAI like posted on Twitter that was showing like internally their research, like what most people use it for, and like in 2025, one of the top 5 is like therapist / counselor or something. I think a lot of people are using like ChatGPT to be like, I need to develop my style. Like, how do I do this? Which is again like a little bit alien to me.
Yeah. No, yeah, we're never gonna get along with like the mindset of regular people on this because it's just so like, why?
Well, it's
we're,
in that
we're
case
so
like
inquisitive.
in that case, I'm just curious. Like, I don't understand why someone wouldn't just like find one of the many blogs or something that's out there that's like made by a.
Well, because people don't want to read, right? Like they just want to like be told what should I wear today.
I guess
it's so pragmatic. It's so like. It's so results focused. So like, what? It's not even like asking like, what makes, Miyazaki's art style so unique. It's like, make me into a Ghibli drawing. Like, so like with stylish, it's like it's not even like, what style do I want? What's the context behind this? It's more like, just tell me what to wear so I can be cool. I mean, we've said that a lot of the time, but now it's just that AI makes it so much.
Well, I don't know. Like a lot of
quicker.
People who are working on generative AI stuff, I feel like, do not really understand art. Like, there's an anecdote that I think about a lot where I think Sora is the big AI video generator. When they were shopping that around Hollywood, showing it to different filmmakers, being like, is this a product that you think you could use? They would ask the people, showing them, doing the demo, it's like, okay, well, if I wanted it to generate like a close-up, or if I wanted to adjust the depth of field, or if I wanted to simulate this like type of film grain or lens or whatever, can I do this? And like the people running the demo were baffled because they never even considered that you might want to do something like choose if it's a close-up or a medium shot, and they had to like go back to the drawing board. Or just see it.
That's
like
crazy.
Recently, because I'm still on Twitter, which is crazy because it's a Nazi website now. But like when the Studio Ghibli stuff was going around, there were people who were saying it's like, what's cool about this is like the Studio Ghibli style is mid anyway. It's just fun that we can do this like for free. Or there's someone now who's like trying to pitch his own like video AI software. And so what he's doing is taking old movies, and I think partially this has to be rage bait, but he's like taking, like older movies like Solaris or whatever, and putting them through a filter to make it so like the camera is like shaking or spinning around and doing dramatic zooms and shit. And he's just saying it's like it looks so much more lively and dynamic, and there's so much movement, and it's not considering at all any sort of artistic intent. And I think it's like, the same thing with fashion. It's like if you just ask ChatGPT, like, give me a trendy outfit, like it might be able to do that because it's like scouring whatever is being posted on GQ.com right now. But like it's not going to have any sort of meaning behind it. It's just going to be like, here's a roundup of the top 10 trendiest items. Like, would you like a preview of what might be hot this winter?
Yeah.
And then it's like, just no I don't know, creativity or meaning behind anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's like I just also don't trust the imagery it'll bring together. I mean, maybe like some of the AI stylists will actually like give you product recommendations, like specific ones, other than like, try a khaki with white sneakers or something, But
but at least with the human stylist, like you could ask them, it's like, do you have any experience with this brand? And they could say, it's like, yes, I bought these shoes before, and here's what I thought. Like, I don't know, people could still ask AI, but it's not a genuine experience that anyone's had. It's just like, it's all hallucination.
Yeah, it's so... I wish people just, like, thought about things more or just enjoyed the process. Like, I can't believe I forgot about this. I wrote, like, an article on AI, like, just generic thoughts from, like... And it's, like, 2 years ago, almost at this point. And I'm like... It's still, not to say that my writing is timeless, but it does ring true. And I remember at the time, it was about the what do you call it? The people were talking about the Clueless closet. And if you guys haven't seen Clueless, but like, she's like this rich valley girl, and she has this computer, or like, and it's connected to her closet, where she can just ask it to make an outfit, and it makes one for her, and then she wears it. And what's the interesting thing there is that the AI, like, it still operates with what she already owns. It's still like a tool, right? Like, okay, making this combination of things. And at the time, I wrote that I didn't like. I never dreamt of having the clueless closet because I like being able to go into my wardrobe and being like, okay, here's it's like looking at your Crayola box. I guess crayon to not be branded. No free advertising. But it's like, okay, what do I like? What's calling out to me? Which shade of color? Which pant? Which blah 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 is coming out to me? As opposed to like, okay, well here, like, just telling a computer, okay, here's my closet and make an outfit for me, because it doesn't work like that. Especially, I don't know, especially for me. Like, I guess you could argue maybe with you guys or Spencer's where it's a bit more like casual, I guess. Like the combinations aren't that much, but like here I'm like, well, you can't just put that tie with this shirt because that's not gonna work. Or like, you can't do that if I wanted a 30s tie or a 30s look or whatever. But I like that. I like putting stuff together like that.
Because I just think if like someone were to ask you, it's like, why did you wear that? And you wouldn't be able to come up with an answer. It's like, why did you choose this to go with this?
Yeah, because they told me.
Oh, computer told me to.
Or even like what was it, like asking somebody what their process was. It was like, oh, I clicked the button and it spit it out. Like, it's not.
Yeah, but maybe I'm not the best person to talk about this because if you ask me, it's a long-winded answer of like, oh man, you ever see that movie with this thing where you ever heard of a parallel arts? So I have this tie that looks like this tie. Yeah, and that's how people don't want to talk to me anymore. But I would say the thing that's different with the clueless thing is that she still had to buy the outfits.
I think that's the crazy.
She's still putting an input in there, and that's like and now we're talking about, okay, well now I need to know what to even buy to begin with, and just tell me tell the AI to make me an outfit and then tell me where I should buy.
Do you remember
when
like the metaverse was like a thing that people were talking about? And there were people speculating it's like, oh, well, in the future when you have like AR goggles,
we're never gonna wear
you
clothes
can just
again.
have virtual clothes. And I always thought it's like, you don't understand clothes. Like, what are you talking about?
I think that was like also an offshoot of like the NFT thing where
it was
like,
yes, it was
you could
absolutely
have, like,
an NFT thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you could have this like sunglasses, and it's only it's like the one of like 5,000 that they have in the metaverse, and it's
Well, are you guys really excited to launch our NFT project that's coming out in 2025?
It's finally ready, actually.
Quarter 3.
What, 2021? When did those things happen?
Oh my god, I don't even remember. That's crazy. I was gonna say one of the things about like why I don't like fashion skins is because they don't look right. Like when even with like AI images of like guy in the suit, lapels don't look the way I want them to. The tie is not there.
Or even things like buttons, they all messed up, man.
I know. Even now, even like the Ghibli stuff, I'm like these suits look. I mean, I guess they're like. They're like soft, like they don't look like an actual thing. But I'm like, maybe my tune will change if they can copy a straight up show me in a Lawrence Fellows style illustration, and they can get all the little and all the stuff, But I also don't know what I do with that because I would rather just wear the actual clothes, guys.
It is very disposable.
We can look at it already. We could see.
It's just.
Facetune is kind of AI though, right? Because it uses AI to like.
AI is such a broad term. Everything's AI.
I know that's true. Yeah, I mean, I autocorrect kind of, right? Like that's kind of or suggested framing.
No, but
of
I don't know.
things.
The whole thing is literally just like the only utility it has is to post on your Instagram story. It's not any more permanent than that.
Yeah, the whole action figure. The thing that's really interesting on this is that like I'm glad people are still shaming it, but like I don't think it's enough. I saw this thing of like I was gonna say like it was like a reaction shot. Like what people expect you to react to their content. Like, oh my god. Oh my god, look, you're an action figure. That's so cool, man. Oh my god, there's like a reference to the thing you always do all the time. You're holding a matcha as an action figure. Wow. And I'm like, yeah. Exactly. Like it's just like what's the point of this shit, I'd rather be a real action figure.
I'm going to learn how to mold plastic.
That's right. I did. I told you guys I have an action
that's
figure or
neat.
a statue of
No.
myself. Did you guys know that?
I don't think you sent us that.
Oh,
I don't know where it is. It was made in. Speaking of tariffs, based in
Nice.
China.
I love
made in
China.
China. I was in a
can't say that. I'm gonna get sent
Chinese.
to China.
Yeah.
They're gonna send me to a foreign prison.
they're not gonna take you to El
I'm
Salvador.
gonna get
They're gonna
deported
put
to
you
China.
to China, actually. Yeah, but yeah, I was like in a street vendor thing, and it's a guy was like, I guess I saw him. He's like whittling or like
Whoa.
with clay or whatever, and he's like, I mean, I don't speak Chinese, but he was like, yeah, I assume like, oh, he can make tourists, and I was like, okay, he's like, I'll have one. He goes, okay. He like he looks at me, takes a photo of me with like a digital camera. He had like a little laptop or some kind of like card reader, and then I come back like an hour later, and then I have a little little clay
neat.
figure of Ethan, and I'm wearing, it's like, it looks like me, I guess, like 15-year-old Ethan. I got like, my wavy hair because the humidity is crazy. I'm wearing a double-breasted charcoal gray Calvin Klein overcoat. I'm wearing it with sweatpants and Vans sneakers that are blue and black, high tops, and of course the neon green and black horizontal stripe hoodie from the Shaun White collection. Let's hear it.
I don't know.
Is
Did he just
he
like
bad
smoke
or
pot?
is he
I don't know.
fine? I don't
Did
know.
he do anything? Well, I hope not.
Do you have to cancel him now? Yeah, Shaun White accused of. Well, we
Yeah.
can't say that because it's alleged and it's a joke,
the
actually. So
allegations and not a okay. Yeah.
yeah. Wait, is it bad actually, or is it no?
I don't know. They settled, but you know how that stuff goes.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh boy.
That's enough about
Yeah.
Shaun White.
Anyway, yeah, who else should we look up? Should we look
Yeah.
up that guy who is in
Let's do
Beetlejuice?
Yes.
Oh
He
yeah,
was
the
in
principal
Deadwood,
from
like,
from
the
Ferris
movie a couple
Bueller.
years ago, which is also crazy. Yeah, he's still
Is
Jeffrey
he
Jones.
still alive?
Yeah.
He is alive, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh, I was gonna
When
say
you
his
say
name,
his name,
but
he
you
gives
know.
it power. He's gonna hear this podcast and he's gonna come after us. He does look scary.
Don't say
Have you seen
it.
that photo of him and Bieber?
Yeah.
It's really funny.
No.
I'm gonna
Can you
find it.
Send it to me. Yeah.
We'll have this on the Instagram too. Uh-huh.
Maybe
We're
not,
gonna post
actually.
a photo of Jeffrey Jones and
I
Justin
don't want to be
Bieber.
scared, guys.
Yeah, convicted.
Jeffrey
Jeffrey
Jones
Jones
poses with registered
and
sex
Justin.
offender Jeffrey Jones. I'll accept these cookies. That's what I'm saying to my neighbor who's trying to give me damn cookies. I'm sending this to our group chat.
Yeah. Yeah, he looks unfortunate, but whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, hope you love this episode of Style and Direction. We're so menswear, guys. This is it, baby. If you want to join in on the menswear conversations, I guess the Discord's where it's happening more now. We still talk about menswear. We talked about menswear on this in this episode, okay, guys. But you can go to patreon.com/Style and Direction. $5 a month gives you access to our podcast Discord. That is where we talk about all things menswear,
considered.
talk about new purchases. It's really popping. It's really great. All things. Hey, consider this podcast. Yeah, it's a lot of fun in there. All the guys are great. It's been, I know there's a lot of other fashion Discords out there, but we are honored that you
That's
chose
right.
to travel with us. You also get access to our library of bonus episodes where we talk about movie style, occasional. I guess the AI episode was also bonus, I guess. But we mainly talk about movies. Up and coming, like we said, is Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. We did last month. We did In the Mood for Love. And usually it's kind of also like if you want to know what we're watching, listen to that because that's what it's usually tied to what we just watched. So do that. There's also an option for you to do $10 a month. Now, there's nothing else special there, but we do thank you. And MJ, who are we thanking? And it's got to be the exact active list because we're not giving any free mentions to anybody.
Yeah,
all right?
you know who you are. You got a few bonuses. But our updated list of Sadcast fanatics are Shane Curry, Philip Gregard, Henrik Wilberg, Mason Ritchie, and Alexander Batten.
We
Thanks,
appreciate
fellas.
you guys so much. We love you. Follow us on Instagram at Style and Direction, where we'll post a dump of
I'm just
whatever the
gonna
hell
take
we
a dump.
talked about today.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Will that get removed? Can you post a picture of like
Poop?
human poop on?
Let's try it.
On like. on, well, give me a second. You know. Yeah.
I don't have one ready.
No.
Hey, how many logs you got cooking? Actually, cooking those logs. You can follow at Style and Direction. You can follow me at Ethan M Wong,
I'm at Spencer DSO.
I'm at Aya MJ.
and we'll see you guys next time. We're gonna talk at the Ren Fair next, I guess, because that's gonna be the next big
Rennie.
menswear event.
Wowie,
Menswear event.
wowie.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.